Hey everybody, it's Tim Shea here with the Shea Group Realty of Keller Williams in Beverly, Massachusetts. I hope you're doing well. I've got another episode of a Freeze Frame Market Snapshot for you, giving you a little overview of what the current market conditions are holding. When people ask me, how is the market doing? I said, well, that depends on whether you're buying or selling. If you guys been out in the market, if you've been buying, you know how competitive it is. If you guys are selling, you know how easy it is to go ahead and get top dollar in this marketplace. So what I've got for you, and we're going to run through here, is some key numbers and what that means, whether you're buying and whether you're selling. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at those numbers. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at Essex County single-family homes and condominiums. We're going to match up this current time frame to 2016 in a few key categories. First, we're going to look at sales. And in sales, we're actually up 14.1%. We're up from 532 homes in 2016, this same time period, to 607. So that's good. The median prices continue to rise, so that's great for property values. We're actually up 3.9% from 2016 to 2017. We're actually down in inventory. This is one of the biggest contributors to the demand in this marketplace. Lots of buyers, not a lot of inventory. What happens? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're actually down 18.6% in inventory. And in pending supplies, we're actually down 3.6%. This is what's going to close in the next 30, 60, and 90 days. So that's a good indicator and barometer as to how the next few months are going to go, and it's slowing down a little bit, at least by the pending numbers. And in months supply of inventory, that's the biggest indicator that we look at, is how much supply of inventory is there currently and how long will it take. And so we're down to 2.2%. That's down 29% from the previous year. That means that all of the current inventory of single-family homes and condominiums in Essex County would take 2.2 months to sell completely. So let's look real briefly at the months, the year-to-date numbers. And in sales, we're actually up 9.5%. And in the median price is actually up 9.2%. In total sales, we're actually up 17.6%. So the numbers keep rising as it relates to property value. The median prices continue to rise, but the inventory is not there. So buyers are continuously seeing themselves in multiple offer scenarios. Now let's take a look at these numbers and break it down a little bit further, because that had no limitations to it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at different price point demographics and just review those numbers real briefly. The first one we're going to look at is under 450,000, and in sales we're actually up 10.8%. In inventory we're down 22.5%, and in month supply we're down 30%. Now in this category right here alone, this is the toughest demographic price-wise that you're looking at in this market point. Under 450, there's just no inventory. Prices are continuing to rise, and everybody's looking to get into this market. So this is the price point that has the toughest competition associated with it. So if you fall into this and you're looking to buy a property in this price point, you might as well prepare for a little bit of a struggle. There are a lot of things that can be done. One of them is talk to me. We can go ahead and help you out. We have definitely have some good tools at our disposal to leverage in this competitive marketplace. So now let's look at 450,000 to 700,000. Lightens up a little bit in this demographic here. Sales were actually up 22.8%. In inventory, we're actually down 18.6%. And in month supply, we're actually down 28%. So a little bit different from the previous demographic there of under 450. If we move over to 700,000 to $1 million, sales are up 65%. We're talking smaller numbers here too. The variance between those numbers changes dramatically. So we're actually up 65% in sales. In inventory, we're actually down 21%. And in month supply of inventory, we're actually down 53%. And in the last one, $1 million and over, if you're in this price point, you're in great shape. I wished I was in this price point right now. It's constant in sales. We're at 13 sales. Inventory, we're actually down 6.5%. And in month supply of inventory, we're actually down 6%. So again, just to kind of recap what these mean for you. If you're buying, even though we're now into the spring market, where typically properties tend to come on the market, we're not seeing that huge influx. I think as the week progresses through this next month, we're going to start to see more properties. We are seeing MLS is starting to get populated with more listings. So the intent and the suspicion is that there's going to be more properties that are going to come on. Now, is it going to be enough to alleviate that demand of all of those buyers that are out there? Even a little bit of inventory coming on will alleviate some of that pressure. The other thing we have is that a lot of those buyers have just removed themselves from the market too. So we're kind of getting into a little bit of a period here where we're really going to, have to see what happens with the amount of inventory and whether those people really did actually remove themselves from the market. Now, if you're selling, obviously you're in great shape because median prices are continuing to rise. Obviously, people are speculating as to where the market's going to head. The Fed Reserve has said that they're going to have 2 more potential rate increases. Is that going to level off prices? I mean, there's a great probability that that could be the case. So my recommendation would be is that if you've thought about selling but have been on the fence, now is definitely the time to go ahead and do it. And if you've been buying, obviously you've got to have a good fortitude to stick in there even though you might be up against some adversity. But there are things that can be done in this market to give you that competitive advantage. I'd love to be able to be the one to help you get that next offer if you're buying, and if you're looking to sell, I'd love the opportunity to show you what your property would be worth in this current market. Until I see you out there next time, you guys know you can always call or text me at 781-789-5128 or visit me at MrLista.com. Take care.